Click the button. So we are live. We are still live.
Okay, so welcome back. We decided to focus on our podcast on YouTube. We're gonna do it every week on YouTube Live. What can you add?
And yeah, I mean, I'm so happy to be back on this. We are trying a new way of so keep on doing our room to improve because we all now working full time. And I think it's best for us to do live because we want to share, we want to, improve ourselves and also with our listeners. So my name is Harry. I'm a Porsche Pro, or they call it a product expert as well in a Porsche center. And Martina.
Yes, I'm Martina and I work in an AI company and I'm also doing sales. And in this episode, I'm going to more interview Harry. So every episode, we're going to focus on different topic and each of us going to share our knowledge or something what we think and it's interesting for us to talk about or share our knowledge. So yeah, this week, we're going to focus on Harry and on electric cars.
Correct. Yes, because electric car is kind of a new thing, and inevitably there will be more electric car coming. And by as far as I know, by 2035, year 2035, in the UK, there will be no more internal combustion engine to be registered as new car. So we still got some time to go, but it's coming. So, Martina, do you have any questions about electric cars?
Yeah, so it's quite a new topic, but quite popular as well because of the changing climate and stuff. And as a consumer, I wouldn't think that a luxury brand would ever do electric cars,
Okay.
mostly because of the sound on the engine.
Okay.
So how do Porsche figure out how to still use the sound and still be quite eco-friendly for the planet?
Yeah. So yeah, of course, sound is a very emotional thing, and that has been a big the reason why people would go for a different luxury brand. So maybe some people would go for Porsche or go for other luxury brand for a very distinctive sound of what the engine makes. But with Porsche, we have this Porsche Electric Sports sound, which took the engineer 5 years to fine tune that very distinctive sound, and they think this is the Porsche Electric Sports car sound. But of course, for regulation, any electric cars out there must make a sound. So for the pedestrian, they can hear the cars coming through. But with Porsche Taycans, so Taycans are our current Porsche fully electric vehicle models, Porsche Taycan, Taycan. With an optional extra, you can opt for the Porsche Electric Sports sound, and it will amplify. It will create a sound that, as it goes through, it will make a very, very nice sound.
Okay, and how would you convince the customer to choose electric car, not a regular one?
To be very honest, a lot of actually we have a lot of customers coming in. We don't actually need to convince them. We just need to explain to them why do they need to think about switching over, or maybe it's actually purely their interests. And a lot of them start to be more environmental aware that we need. I mean, the way forward, they want their child and the child's child, so their grandkids, to be able to still drive on the road, to enjoy the road and enjoy driving. So they're going to electric cars because they understand maybe their previous big engine sports car may be going to obsolete. So even there's a customer coming in, they say like, "Oh, I was just dropping my kids to school and turning up in a very big diesel SUV seems to be not environmental like sustainable." So now they feel like even like just dropping kids or just turning up at work in meeting. They feel like turning up in a fully electric cars seems to be showing others that I care about the environment, and they will give their status symbol that they're more aware. So with electric cars, it's almost like what I spend most of the time explaining to customer is that how is that going to affect? So the first thing first will be the range. At the moment, we at best in the real world, a fully charged Taycan can do somewhat 250 miles, which compared to their other cars may not sound that much. But for a lot of customers, they came back and saying, actually, when we focus on how many miles we do a day, highly unlikely that anyone would do more than 250 miles on one day. And the idea of having an electric car is you do home charging, like an overnight charging. So say you drive to work and maybe you do some errands, you pick up your kids from school or even from college, then you get home about 7 or 8 in the evening. Then you just plug it in and then overnight charge, give it like 15 hours of charge. Next morning, you start driving again, say 7 a.m. in the morning, you have a good 12 hours of charge already. And the way forward, 12 hours of charge will give you more than enough for the next day of charge. And we also do a lot of rapid charging. So when I say we do it, I mean, in the UK, there are a lot of rapid fast charging points are already in use or being built to become. So with that, normally it would take like 30 minutes to charge a Taycan to 80% from 5%. So just to go for a longer journey, it's doable, and there are more to look forward to in the future.
Okay, I have another question, because
Please.
just to say, I have no knowledge about electric cars, so I'm going to
Okay.
very simple questions, like a lady who's coming to your salon and looking for electric car.
Yeah.
So how long electric cars are on the market, and comparing with classic cars, how long the engine can last? Because as you said, you can give this car to your son or what so on, like it can last long, but how long, and how long comparing with classic car?
Okay, so actually, batteries. I know a lot of people think about, okay, batteries may not last as long, or a debate of whether it is actually and like sustainable because we use, the way the battery is being made, being manufactured. But to be honest, say with Porsche, we give customers 8 years battery warranty. But that being said, that doesn't mean after 8 years it will break. But it's just that we give confidence that to the customer, you have 8 years of warranty for the battery. If there's anything happen, we'll cover it. And so far from my personal working experience, since the Taycan rolled out late 2019, about 2020 time, I never experienced any Porsche Taycan that needs a new battery to be replaced. So far we haven't heard any horrible stories about like a big recall on batteries as well. So we are doing fine. We're doing fine. Even for a further perspective, talking about other more earlier electric cars. So say maybe Nissan Leaf, say other Japanese cars, or even the most earliest hybrid vehicles like Toyota Prius. What they told us, from there are no secrets. These are all this information up on the internet, that even the first generation Toyota Prius, a lot of them are still on the road running, and it's like more than 10 years. Like they're like more than 10 years ago, and they are still running on the same battery like many years ago, and it's still running fine. So So the way forward is we think electric cars with the battery technology going forward, it's sustainable.
Yeah. And in what year Porsche like made the first electric car?
That is a very good question because for Porsche, the first ever Porsche electric car is actually back in 1891. Let me just double check because back in the days in the history, Porsche is actually the
Oh, that's interesting.
first to make electric cars. So because in history, sorry, it's 1898.
Mm-hmm.
In 1898, the
Oh,
first ever Porsche electric car was made in 1898.
and in what year you decided to like bring more electric cars to Salon because people
Yeah.
started
So
them a lot?
correct. So Taycan is the first, and then we will see our next fully electric model will be the Macan, which is kind of a compact SUV. That will be announced next year, sometime next year. We don't know when yet, but definitely 2023 at some point. Then also we are going on to the two-seater sports car, like the Cayman and the Boxers. Because if you look at the concept, the Mission R, you will see the Mission R is actually sort of, you can see where they are taking that technology into a road-going two-seaters sports car. So because by 2030, the Porsche, the way forward is to by 2030 there will be more than 80% of the cars that we sell in the showroom will be zero emission cars, fully electric cars.
Yeah, yeah, I see. And you can notice that in more cities, you're not allowed to drive with diesel and stuff. So only
Yes,
electric cars in the future will
yes,
be allowed to drive in like busy areas and stuff. And
right.
what's your favorite part of electric car? Like, what's the best thing that you like about them?
Yeah. So the first thing I like about them is how pleasant it is driving in it. Because at one day I need to move these cars to a car event, and I've been moving some Porsche 911. I've been moving a Boxer and other cars. I mean, they are very good cars on the motorway, but then as soon as I jump in on a Taycan and move that Taycan, and on the motorway, it's silence. It's suddenly you realize, oh, actually going for a long journey or just going, just from A to B, it can be quite pleasant and quiet while traveling, the correct amount of speed, 70 miles per hour on the motorway.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing the same route on a Boxster or maybe even on 911, suddenly I notice the engine is running. It's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, we all like to hear the sound of the engine, but when you're just doing the mundane journey from every day from A to B, and that engine is just, constantly making a sound. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but all of a sudden when I experience, oh, actually it can be silent, so I can hear the stereo, so I don't need to uh, um, um, increase the volume of say the radio or the music just to sort of cover the sound of the engine because I would rather listen to the music on just doing constant speed on the motorway. And then I realized actually I quite like to be traveling on the electric car. And of course, other things is you will know is the instant speed of acceleration with the electric car. So I had a lot of doubt when, I mean, say, even just 3 or 5 years ago when they say, oh, like we're going to be electric cars. And I'm like, oh no, like, I mean, growing up as a petrol head, I love cars, I love engines, I love the sound of it. It's almost like, oh, what can I, is there any more I can do? But Porsche made a very, very good engineering to make sure even driving electric cars still feels like driving a car. So yeah, the future is bright.
Yeah. The only thing I can add from myself is that I cycle a lot or I walk on the main road a lot, and very often my hair is super smelly because of the smell from other
Yeah.
cars. So I think that's the best thing for me as a woman, that the electric cars don't smell as much as like diesel and stuff. It's so bad. It's
But
so
yeah.
when you walk in, and like buses, they're so big and you just like pass
Mm.
next to them and you can smell it. It's horrible. I
Yes.
hate
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, the
Oh,
way forward is like the electric car is just to make it a more pleasant environment,
yeah.
even for the people who are driving it and for the people who are walking next to it on an urban area. So it's a zero emission. So just make everyone more happy.
Yeah. You
Okay,
can breathe with more clear air when
make
you
it zero emission. Yeah,
yeah. That's
way
the
forward.
All right, I think our time is out, right? We
Yeah.
need to keep it short, and yeah, that's how we want to make it. Thank you. That was a very interesting topic. I think I'm looking forward to hear more about your work experience and
Yeah.
cars and stuff. So definitely we're gonna talk about lots of different topics.
Yes. Looking forward to the next episode already, and I'll be interviewing Martina.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank
Yes.
you for being here and
Yeah.
your time. And yeah, we will see in the next episode.
Thank you for watching and listening. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.